Okay, hello, I am Jim Frankenfield, sometimes Mr. Jim or Snowman Jim, and I am a tutor for a teacher of mathematics and physics and a few other miscellaneous topics and subjects. This is an introductory video. I'll just let you know a little bit about what I teach and how I teach it. I have a lot of experience teaching at universities. I've also taught at high schools and middle schools. People tend to think of me as the guy who does the hard stuff and the math and science that other tutors either can't do or get wrong. But I also do high school and middle school programs, and on the side here there's some pictures from a middle school program I started. It's an experiential snow school science program. That was grade 7 in those pictures. So I do work with all levels, not only the hard stuff. So I teach online, and what the board behind me is an example of a physics problem, classic projectile motion. This was a high school problem that was solved simply with a formula, and a lot of teachers and tutors just try to find a formula for anything. But in my video for this topic, I also used the general equations, which is much more useful. For example, if you have a rocket booster at the beginning and then a projectile, you need to use these equations. And this would be the approach at a second physics course, general university level course. And I did work with rocket boosters for a year. So let's take a look at my other tools, and I'll show you how I teach and what topics I teach. Okay, here we are at my desk where I do more of my tutoring from. The whiteboard is better for classes. Sometimes it's okay for tutoring. But I actually work here at this workstation and use the desktop more because I share a lot of screens and I use a document camera a lot more than the whiteboard. So I'll show you the tools I use and the screens that I use and a few things about the topics I teach. So here we are at the document camera, and this is perhaps my most useful tool for direct interaction rather than screen sharing. I can use this to mark up and discuss documents. This is from legal English. I've been teaching legal English at the local university for about 5 years. So this is a subject that I do teach. I generally don't teach general English or grammar or anything like that. But I can teach legal English and really enjoy that. This case is also a good case for American studies. There are a lot of early American studies involved in that case. But back to my math and science, I used the document scanner for a lot of equation work that would never fit on the whiteboard. This is an integral of a type that's typical in systems engineering, so it's a calculus problem that is very relevant and applied later in engineering. This is a factoring problem. We wanted to factor a polynomial, and so this is high school. This is a little bit larger, maybe a little harder than the typical high school one, but the methodology is high school level. Maybe college algebra level. And we started on here on the document camera, and then I will often go to Excel. So in Excel, I found the rational factors. So we tried all of the factors, found 2 rational factors, but we know there's 3 more. And those turn out to be irrational. So again, we use a spreadsheet. And we use a method called Newton's method. I also used another method that's not required. Newton's method requires a little bit of calculus. The other method is a little more tedious, even on Excel, but it does not require any calculus. So I use the spreadsheet a lot for simplifying calculations, repetitive calculations. I also have done projects on Excel frequently when I teach. I try to include applied projects at any level. I think math courses should have applications that show students how they're going to use it. Physics should be applied to the real world. So this was an actual bouncing ball. The data was downloaded from the internet. And in the textbook, it always comes all the way back up to the top. The ideal ball never loses any energy. But this is a real ball and it does lose energy, and we were able to adjust that and examine that and explore that, and we can see how much energy is lost in each bounce. So this is an example of an application and the type of project that when I'm teaching I try to include. I use Desmos a lot. This is an example of integrating and differentiating and the relationship with the slider here. It's a very simple but useful illustration. This was a physics math problem at finding the center of mass of this darkest area here. So I actually, with that one, let's go back to just the cam a minute. So I actually cut out a model of that piece, and there is the center mass, right where it's supposed to be. So that's another applied application. And we calculated where that center of mass should be, and then actually demonstrated that by balancing it on that point. The last thing, there is one more thing on here, and that's Webwork. So I have my own Webwork installation. I maintain the server and the installation and all of that stuff. I am technically competent. I do my own website work and maintain my own servers. Virtual servers, a lot of tutors, even technical tutors, just simply can't do that. And this gives me a powerful tool. So this is for SAT review here, and I do SAT review of SAT courses, and I can do it privately. With Webwork, I can give you an assignment or a set of review problems, and you can practice with these problems. If you have problems and you need trouble, you can contact me and I'll help you straighten that out. So that's a tool that I can use for tutoring or teaching. For tutoring, it's good if someone needs some practice problems. For teaching, I use it for class assignments. And the last tool to show is just kind of fun if you're into more advanced math. This is called phase plane. This is really a second term calculus or beyond problem, but you can use this beginning first term calculus. It starts to become useful. This particular problem is a predator and prey model, so they're something like rabbits and foxes, and they oscillate like this. So that's another cool tool that I like to use for material at that level. So those are the tools that I use. Let's go back to a wrap up here. Okay, so there you have it. It's a little bit of a background, a little bit about who I am, what I teach, how I teach it. I can help students with many topics from middle school through university, and a few special topics like legal English. So I hope you'll be interested in getting tutoring or taking a class that I teach. You can contact me on my website, jamesfrankenfield.com. And I'll leave you with a couple photos on the side here from my non-academic life. I've spent a lot of my life until the last few years climbing and skiing, and I've actually done a lot of teaching in those realms also. I've taught risk management and safety skills and technical skills for alpine climbing and skiing. In fact, I taught the Army Northern Warfare guys once a year on some avalanche risk management and travel skills. So I have done a lot of teaching outside of just the academics as well. Get in touch with me if you'd like to learn more, if you want to know how to succeed, how to prepare for university, if you need help with vocational skills, anything like that. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.